Hey guys, we are in a really neat corner of the world. I love it here. It's beautiful. We're down in a corner of Amish country in Kentucky. And we've just stopped in to check out Yoder's Country Store. And already on the porch we see all kinds of wonderful birdhouses and feeders and lighthouses and gliders. We're having a ball. But I bet you there's even more neat stuff inside. You guys want to go? Yeah, let's go check it out. Come on. We're looking around all the cool stuff in here. One thing I wanted to show you is, can you boys guess what this is on the shelf?
Pie filling?
Pie filling, exactly. Isn't that the most ingenious thing you ever saw? This is cherry pie filling. You just cut off the end there and squeeze it right in the pie shell, and they've got apple and cherry and lemon and strawberry, any flavor you'd want. Oodles and oodles of stuff of every kind. Oh, and look at I love collecting handkerchiefs. I think I'll get me one or two of those. I like the blue one with the pink, this one, and they have this one. You like the one with the horses? Well, that'd be cool. Would you like to have one for a souvenir? You guys pick one out. Well, souvenir is something to remember the day by. Tara, come here. I want to show you something. Somebody told me you did something naughty. That's hard to believe. But how would you like to get paddled with that? She'd have no part of that. It says Grandma's paddle. Look at that. And it's just soft and sweet as a pillow. Yeah, that's a Grandma's pillow, all right. You don't want to really paddle the kids like the moms do. You do it with lots of love. Very soft touch. Yeah. And look at the ones with the shades on them over here. Those would be like for the parlors, the sitting room. Well, what did you boys find? Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, look at the tires. Look how they're wound. Somebody's really talented, aren't they? Is this cute or what? It's got color pockets for color crayons. Isn't that cool?
Those are real.
They are real. Ah, look, and there's one Thomas the Tank, and let's see, Cow Jumped Over the Moon, and a quilted one. Alrighty, we have been looking around the store and finding so many interesting things. It's been a blast. You know what, guys? I happen to know there are some horses waiting for us down the road. You want to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go pay for our things, and we're heading down the road. Ah, I made it. I made it. Hey, I like you. You and me are going to be pals, girl. Yeah, good girl. Ah, yeah. Woo, yahoo. It's easier than walking. There we go. One more time. Oh, you're doing such a good job. Whoa, 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 slow down. Good girl. Oh, this is my first horse ride. I love it. And she's doing such a good job. She's minding very well. She's not scaring me too much either. The other horse I had tried to drag me through a tree. Hey. Because Miss Belle is a jewel. Boy, is she nice. Oh, and I get to feed her an apple. You want a little treat for taking me on such a nice ride? Of course you do. Oh, she's a lady, too. Look at that. She doesn't want the whole thing. Bites it in half. There you go. Well, we've got a small horse, and we've got a medium-sized horse. I'm a little taller than her. But I think I'd like to see a horse that's really, really big. You game for that? Hey, come on with me. Bye, Miss Belle. See you later. Mwah. Hey, guess what? We found a couple of beautiful Belgian horses and a hay wagon, and we are going for a hay ride. Let me introduce you to these guys. This is Bill. He's a fine fellow. And this one over on the other side is Barney. They are just wonderful. And I want you to notice especially, look at the size of their hoofs. They are awesome. You're such fine boys. You think you can take all of us, the grandkids, and me on a hay ride? I'm counting on it. Hey, guys, can you give me a hand up here to the... Let's see, I'm going to have to hike my... There we go. Somebody, give me a hand. All right, well, let's go again. There we go. I'm aboard. All right. That's going to be fun. Come on, Tara. The Amish guy, right? This is Uncle Ben. All right, Uncle Ben, hit it. Let's go. Woo! Ah, boy, look how strong those guys are. Man, I think they must work out in the field all day long. What do you think? Oh, this is fun. Oh, I think this is my first official hayride that I've ever had, too. Woo. Hey, these big old Belgian horses are used for work out here, out in the middle of this beautiful Kentucky rolling hills. And they go out on the fields all day. They do the harvesting. They do all kinds of work, so they're really strong. They're wonderful horses. They're just very gentle, too. But boy, are they strong, huh, Tira? She tried to hold them back. Hey guys, you having a good time?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I am too. That's the most fun I had since yesterday. I love having fun with kids. We're nearing home again, and I'm thinking you guys haven't gotten my address yet today. So why don't you grab a pencil and a paper and get ready to write it down. Woo, here we go. If you're ready, there it is.
Hey kids, Grandma Joyce would love to hear from you, so why not sit down and write her a letter? Like every grandma, she loves to get pictures, drawings, or anything else you send her. Just write to Grandma's House, P.O. Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Her email is grandma@3abn.org. That's grandma@3abn.org. So what are you waiting for? Write her today.
Hi there, you darling grandkids. Come on in and find a comfy spot, because I've got a story to tell. Don't you just love this little Amish doll? Notice how she doesn't have a face. That's because the Amish believe that would be making an image, and they want to keep the second commandment because they love God so much. Well, I love the way the Amish folks live, don't you? It seems slower and more peaceful to us, but it has a lot of hard work in it too. They don't do things the fast and easy way. Even way back when I was a brand new kid, I always loved the natural things of the outdoors and the old-timey things from days gone by. I've always wished I'd been born back in the pioneer days. Have you ever wished that? It seems like it would be so much more romantic and adventurous to cross the prairies in a covered wagon, or if you lived in a log house where you had to grow all your own food to survive. Why, just the thought of wide open spaces with no fences in them, that just thrills my heart. And I want to go tramping all over the place with wildflowers at my feet and wind in my hair. Well, I kind of grew up that way when I was very young, and I guess I never got it all out of my system yet. But I'm not so sure that God wants it out of my system. I think that maybe God wants us to live in a more quiet, simple way. You know, a way that's more natural-like. Well, the Amish people live that way. They live very much like everybody did about 150 years ago, when there was no electricity, no cars, and certainly no iPads. Well, Grandpa Stu was raised with lots of Amish neighbors when he was a boy in Pennsylvania. And after he grew up and we got married, he took me back there to meet his family. Well, his grandpa had a big old farm in the old days, but by the time we went back, he had sold most of it to the Amish farmers that lived all around him. In the early morning, we would hear the horse-drawn milk wagons clattering down the road. They'd be taking the morning's milk to the creamery and the cheese factory that the Amish owned. During the day, we could walk up the road in the other direction and see the men working in the cornfields with teams of horses. Mothers hanging their clothes on the line to dry, or working with the smaller children in the vegetable garden. Then farther up the road, Mr. Miller worked in his shop where he made beautiful, lovely handmade furniture. The older children went to a small one-room schoolhouse during the day, and the horses they rode to school, well, they'd be munching grass out in the shade while they waited for school to be over. It was all so peaceful. Why, the loudest noise you could hear was the buzzing of the bees. One evening, while Grandpa and I were sitting in the porch swing, he told me that sometimes the Amish young men who were courting a young lady, they would take them out for buggy rides on Sunday nights, and sometimes they'd race to show off to the girls. Well, hardly were those words out of Grandpa's mouth when we heard the clattering of horses' hooves and buggy wheels on the pavement. Over the rise they came side by side. They were on a narrow two-lane road, went up and down over 1,000 little rolling hills. The boys were yelling to make their horses go faster, and the girls were squealing in excitement and pretending fright. Well, the boys' shirts were flapping in the wind, and the girls' bonnets flew to the ends of their strings. Oh, what fun! In a flash, they went past us and out of sight around the bend. But just before they disappeared, one of the girls' bonnets flew out of the buggy. Oh, she shrieked, but the buggies raced on and her bonnet was lost. Oh, what was she going to tell her mother? Well, I felt sorry for her predicament. So I went out to the road. I found her bonnet and hung it on a fence post for her. Grandpa and I laughed and had the best time watching the young folks. The Amish people live simply and naturally, at a slower pace than the rest of us often do. Well, most of us grown-ups are always rushing around. We're trying to cram at least one more thing into our day. Sometimes even kids get caught up in the frenzy, what with school and music lessons and soccer and baseball, texting and surfing the web, and all kinds of other things to keep you busy. Now, there is something to be said for staying busy. After all, idle hands are the devil's workshop, you know. But you see, there is a natural pace, a tempo like music that God has put into every human heart to measure out the cadence of life. Do you know what a metronome is? Here's one that belonged to my friend Jill. It belongs to her grandmother. It's very old, but I think it's very beautiful too. People use it to keep the beat of the music going at just the right speed. Now watch. If I move this little weight up, see, it starts out. See how fast it goes? Well, if I move that little weight up, see, it goes slower. If I move it down, the time in the music will speed up. Well, God put something like a metronome in your heart to help you live in the happiest way possible. He set this little timekeeper at just the right pace to give you joy and peace, energy and strength, music and song. It's not too fast and it's not too slow. It's just right. You can feel it in your chest, and it goes just about the same speed as your heart beats. Solomon says it like this: there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Ah, there is a time. I like that. You see, life has a rhythm that God ordained, and we just have to be in tune with it to be really happy. There is spring and fall, summer and winter, day and night, work days and Sabbath. It just all flows together with a certain rhythm like music. And giving time to each thing in its turn makes life beautiful. Well, till I see you again, remember that you're always close to my heart, and I love you so much. You're just my best friend ever. Somebody told me you did something naughty. That's hard to believe. But how would you like to get paddled with that? She didn't have no part of that. It says Grandma's paddle. Look at that. And it's just soft and sweet as a pillow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. This is as much fun as riding the pony, isn't it? Let me see your faces. Are your tongues hanging out, boys? I can't see anything but slobber and slime flying from their faces. Hey,